Welcome to the Blissful Couples Corner, where we talk about the splendors and flavors of marriage. My name is Soul Angel, and you are watching the Blissful Couples Corner. I want to welcome everyone who is watching for the first time, and for all my returning subscribers and followers, you are so welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, today, let's dive straight into our topic for today. Just a reminder, we started a series last week on bedroom matters, all about sexual intimacy in marriage. So last week we introduced the topic, talked about what we're going to be talking about, and today we are having our second episode, and we will be talking about the topic of today is about unlocking the connection in marriage, unlocking the power of sexual intimacy, sexual connection in marriage. So today we're going to be exploring sexual intimacy, how sexual intimacy strengthens the bond between married couples. Don't know what I have in my mouth, but sorry about that. Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking about today, how sexual intimacy strengthens bonds between married couples. So we are unlocking the power of that connection, the power of sexual intimacy connection. So before we go ahead, I just want to say that if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, my YouTube channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and also follow me on Facebook if you are not yet doing so. On this platform, we are all about talking about marriages, relationship, and most especially how to restore marriages back to God. Because a lot of things are happening. Divorce is rampant, people are separating. So, our vision and mission here in this ministry is to help in our own little way through divine wisdom of God how we can help to navigate some of the challenges that we face in marriages. What is God's purpose for marriage? Why was marriage there? Why is there divorce? Why is there a lot of divorce in our society nowadays? So we are just here to. It's just a ministry, a purpose. The purpose why we are here is to see how we can help save some of these marriages. We here we talk about challenges that we face in marriage. For example, the ones that we are tackling now, bedroom matters. Sexual intimacy is a big issue in marriages. It's just that people don't talk about it. So we are here to maybe through people's experiences and our own experience and our own expertise, talk about some of the things that we can do to better ourselves in that aspect, looking at it from the lens of Christ, from the lens of God. What is God's own idea at the beginning of what sexual intimacy was going to be? So those are the kind of things that we are looking at when it comes to this channel. So this time around, we are going to be talking about sexual intimacy. And there will be an episode on what God views, how He views sexual intimacy in marriage. Is it even important to Him? So, but for today, we're going to be exploring how sexual intimacy can strengthen bonds in between couples. So, to go ahead in that aspect, we're going to talk about three main importance. Actually, four, but we're going to leave the last one, the fourth one, for another time because that's a whole big topic on its own and very sensitive. So, the four main things I want to talk about importance, the categories of importance is number one, sexual intimacy has a biological importance. Number two, it has a physical importance. Number three, emotional, psychological. And number four, it has a spiritual importance. We're not going to talk about the spiritual importance today. Not sure what's making noise here. We're not going to talk about the spiritual importance today. We're going to leave it for another day because it's a very broad topic. So today I just want us to look at number one, those four important three important importance of categories of sexual intimacy. Number two, we're going to talk about 6 ways how sexual intimacy can strengthen the bond between a married man and a married woman. So the bond between couples. Okay. So number one, let's talk about the biological aspect of uh, of sexual intimacy. Okay. Sexual intimacy is not just an act, it's beyond an act, it's beyond just having that action with somebody. But during sexual intimacy, when a man and a woman come together, biologically, there is a hormone that is released called oxytocin. And this hormone is also called commonly the love hormone. That is a hormone that brings closeness between a man and a woman. Usually, when you see a man and a woman start feeling love, all those butterflies in their system, when you see somebody you like, the person is oxytocin that is being released. So it's a hormone that God had purposely put there, not Satan. God had put there from the beginning of time to help that bonding between people. It is in every relationship, even platonic relationship. It's just that it is at different levels. So the way the oxytocin that is produced in a man and a woman is different. Okay. So but generally it is called the love hormone. So during sexual intercourse, oxytocin is produced, is released, and this promotes bonding between the man and the woman. It promotes deeper connection. It promotes a feeling of trust. That is the reason why in a relationship trust comes in. A relationship where there is that emotional stability, there is more trust. There's a lot of trust. I guess that's the reason why women tend to trust too much, because they tend to be too emotional. I don't know about that, but I can just infer like that. So the more those hormones are released, the more bonding is increased between the man and the woman, and the more there is trust in the relationship. So it is just an innate thing. It is just an innate. It's a system that God has already put in place for that purpose. So we see that right from the beginning of time, God has already purposed that this thing is supposed to be a certain way. There's supposed to be that intimacy. Even that he was not going to put that kind of hormone in us. Okay. So he created us and put in that hormone in us. So that's the biological aspect of that. Oxytocin is produced and it helps in bonding. So it's very important that a man and a woman keep that sexual connection so that it can increase that love. It's a love hormone, closeness, it increases closeness and trust. Okay. So it brings that sense of deeper connection. The second thing is that physical aspect, sexual intimacy enhances, it fosters communication. Okay. It fosters communication, vulnerability between the man and the woman. I mean, imagine that. I mean, I don't know which state of vulnerability can be that much as being naked with somebody, being having that time with somebody, that that connection, that's the deepest form of connection, the most intimate form of connection that we can never think of. So within the context of sexual intimacy, there is that connection already. There is that communication. It may be non-verbal, it may be verbal. People have different ways that they react to it. There are emotions, there are communication ways that people communicate, but all is that it fosters communication between a man and a woman, and also fosters that state of vulnerability, which is important when it comes to a relationship between a man and a woman. Okay. So, and this also helps to cultivate trust. It helps to cultivate emotional stability. Okay. The next thing I want to talk about is, next importance is that it promotes mutual satisfaction and fulfillment in the relationship. It may sound funny, but I remember when I was working in one hospital in Maryland, We had this supervisor that she'll come in the morning. She's always angry. She's always getting on people's nerves. She's always upset. So one day, one of our one of our colleagues was like, I don't think this woman is getting something, because if she had a man that man was dealing with her every morning before she comes to work, she would not be this angry. I think she's lacking something, and all of us were laughing, right? But really, really, if you're honest, if you ask a lot of people, right, when you see a woman smiling molar to molar, or a man feeling so happy, know that in that aspect, that morning probably something happened. It's just a sense of, I don't know how to explain it, but people can understand, married people can understand what I mean. Okay. Sometimes you are just down, but when it happens, you feel a sense of satisfaction, you feel a sense of safety, a sense of being valued, a sense of being wanted, unless you're in a relationship that it is not valued. You're in a marriage where that is an aspect, like, because some people take it as an aspect of, I don't know, they use their partners for that. But that's not the context we were talking about. In this context of promoting mutual satisfaction and fulfillment of the relationship, it is in that aspect I'm talking about. There is that sense of satisfaction. There's that sense of safety. There's that sense that you are being valued by your partner. Okay. There's that positive impact in it. So sexual intimacy brings a sense, a feeling of satisfaction. Okay. That is why in the Catholic Church, I was surprised to know that if the marriage is not consumed, the marriage is null and void. If you get married, meaning that if you get married and your husband cannot perform his conjugal right, your wife cannot perform their conjugal right matrimonially, I mean in bed, the relationship, the marriage is called null and void, is literally cancelled. So you can see how important that is. Okay. And I think it makes sense because a lot of people go out, when you ask married people why they cheat, some of them will say, oh, my wife is not giving me, my husband is da. So it makes sense that God has permitted sexual intimacy in the context of marriage. So it's supposed to be consumed. God knows it's important. God is the one that put that desire, that sexual desire in you, but He put it for a particular reason, a particular time, and a particular person and purpose. So He has designed the time, the season, and the person. So if you get married and within that context of marriage, you are not consuming it, then there is no marriage. Something is wrong. Okay. You guys have to figure it out. Okay. So those are the three aspects that I want to talk about. I just wanted to highlight. Like I said, we're going to be having this short video within the week. And on Sunday, we'll dive deep inside. It may take 2 more episodes, but we'll dive deep inside. Okay. So that being said, those are the three things that we're not going to talk about the spiritual aspect today because it's very deep. We're not going to talk about that, but there is a serious spiritual aspect. When two souls bond together, it is a mystery. Okay, I don't want to talk about that. A lot of things we're going to have detail on that one. So remember, biologically, oxytocin is being produced which enhances connection, closeness within couples. It helps to create and increase the bond, and it helps to promote a sense of trust and a deeper feeling of connection. Number 2, it fosters communication. In that aspect, that's the physical aspect, fosters communication and vulnerability, which also helps to strengthen trust in a relationship. Okay, and the emotion. Number 3, it promotes satisfaction, a feeling of satisfaction and well-being. Okay, right. Now let's dive into 6 ways that sexual intimacy can strengthen the bond between a man and a woman, the bond between married couples. Okay, so number 1, I want to go straight into it. So I don't want to be going around. So number 1, we've talked about it anyway. So it enhances emotional connection. emotional connectivity between a man and a woman. Sexual intimacy, sexual intercourse will enhance that intimacy. Hmm? That is the closest form. Look at my hands like this. How closer can they get? That's it. They cannot go any closer. Okay. If they're like this, they keep coming closer, 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 closer. And when they are closest, that is how that is literally deep colored into the deep. People will know. So it is a deep connection. A deep, like we're gonna dive deep into it on Sunday in the life. So that's one. It fosters it enhances emotional connection, your emotional well-being. You're emotionally connected to that person. Okay. Even when the person around, your emotions are still working. That's why in the distance you can still feel it. We're going to talk about this on Sunday, and I'll probably have some one or two things to say about that. Okay. Number two, apart from enhancing emotional connection, I think increased intimacy. No, that one is the same thing as let me read my notes so I don't want to repeat stuffs. All right, we talked about it has connection, it improves communication. We talked about that. Okay. Some people, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, couples may have a problem. They may have misunderstanding. But the quickest way that they really reconcile and let things go sometimes is through sexual intercourse. Okay. So they may have reconciled, they have talked, they have said, okay, it's fine, but they're still making shakara. Us women will still be making shakara, just be okay, anyhow. But now, when that one comes in, it seals the deal. Okay. So it improves communication in your relationship. Then it increases relationship satisfaction. That's what I talked about, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of well-being in your relationship. Okay. Every healthy marriage relationship should have sex. Hello. Every healthy one, if it is not having it, depends on your frequency. Now, if you're not having, if you are the one that you are having sex with your husband, your wife every 6 months, please do something about it. Do something about it. Yes, it helps. It helps. It gives a sense of satisfaction, increases a sense of satisfaction, a sense of satisfaction in your relationship. Yes, you believe it or not, it does. It increases satisfaction in the relationship. I mean, what's the point? If you're not having sexual intercourse with your husband, your wife, why are you there? It's as good as you living with your brother or your sister in the house. So yes, there should be that difference. There should be that satisfaction that I'm married. What I was looking for when I was single, I have it now. I can't have it. Okay, we'll talk more about that. So the next one is relieves stress. Okay, we talked about the oxytocin hormone. We're going to talk about the stress hormone. Okay, that's going to be another thing. We're going to talk about the stress hormone. But just know that sexual intimacy relieves stress. There are some times that you are so stressed out, especially the men can relate with this well. Have you ever asked yourself that why is it that when men are stressed, they want to instead have this thing? As opposed to women. When women are stressed, they don't want disturbance. Because some reason, when men are stressed, it's like they want this thing more. Why? We don't know. So, but that's one of the benefits of that. It relieves stress. Okay. By the time you come, you're relaxed. It's relaxation. Okay. So it relieves stress and helps with relaxation. Okay. Remember, when you get to orgasm, your whole body is relaxed after that. Okay. Now, it helps with shared experience. When you're done, you see you and your spouse, you guys talk about it. What's your experience? How did you feel about it? You talk about it. So it helps you guys. That's another form of way of communication. Now, let me pause here and say, if you are the type that you after having sexual intercourse with your partner, you just jump into the shower as though you were running from a prostitute or you're running from a male prostitute, please stop it. Number one is very disrespectful because it feels like it's somebody you're running from. You just finish pap, you get into the shower, like you're getting into like you're running away from. You don't even want to see the person's face, like you're running straight to the shower, like you don't want to see the person. Listen, once that is done, you guys have to relax in each other's arms for a few minutes. Okay, for a few minutes. If it's nighttime, you sleep in each other's arms. Yes, you heard me. So those of you who are dashing, you dash into the restroom as a thief. Stop it. That's not polite. That's actually very rude. You do that with prostitutes. Another thing is that it increases intimacy out of the bed. Now, what out of the bedroom? What do I mean by out of the bedroom? Now, when you guys get into it, after that, have you ever had the sense that whenever you have intercourse with your spouse, the following morning, you guys you feel so you are, it's like you're alert that if there are any problems that you guys had to solve, any things that come up, oh, you guys are on the same page, you are solving it, oh yeah, it's smooth, as opposed to days that you are so stressed and sometimes he's talking but you're thinking something else. Hey, babe, what is it? But that morning, you are sharp. So that's what it means. So it helps. We'll talk about that more on Sunday. It helps with intimacy out of the bedroom. So even though you guys are not in the bedroom, you're not in any sexual activity, but your intimacy, that connection continues outside. It's like what you call him, you're going, oh babe, this one is happening. So that's what it means. Okay. Now it helps with physical affection and touch. That's the last one that I have. Physical affection and touch. Now, there are some people there are some men that are so rigid. And I'm saying women too, but most of the time men, that even to touch their spouse. I mean, sometimes when your wife is cooking, doing something, just pass and tap something, touch something on her, go touch something on him. But there are some people, if you ask them for the past 6 months, if it is not in the bedroom that they've tried 1 or 2 times, they cannot come like that, even give a peck, give a kiss. You come out from work, your husband is there, your wife is there, you just say, babe, hi, no kiss. Come on now. I know that is not African culture. We did not grow up seeing our parents kiss, but now we are not in the same generation. We should make things different. So apart from touching when you're in bed, that's not the only time you touch when you're in bed. That's not the only time. When you're sitting and watching TV, lie on him, put your legs on his thighs, put your head on his thighs, lie on his shoulder. The same, likewise, the man. Okay, this touching, like I said, all this touching and this whatever you do, this little pecks here and there, touches and all that, it helps produces oxytocin. I think I should really talk on Sunday more about this oxytocin thing. And now I'm not telling you to go and be touching people outside. You have the one to touch in the house. Begin to touch the one in the house, not the one outside. So sexual intimacy improves, it increases affection and touch. Affection is your feeling, the way you feel for someone, your affection towards someone, okay, how you feel towards someone. All those things help because they help your body to release the oxytocin, sorry. And it depends on how you do it. Don't come and be harsh on somebody. That's another thing I will talk about. You can't be harsh. When they say kiss you or they say touch, you come and you slap somebody. No, that's not it. Nice, romantic, soft. Okay. So that's what we have. That's what I have for us today about sexual intimacy, how it relates, how it helps to improve, to strengthen the bond within couples. Okay, and also the 3 categories of how in the order of importance. So let me just recap what we've said today. Today we have talked about the biological importance of sexual intimacy, which helps bring and release oxytocin. We've talked about how it fosters communication. We've talked about how it fosters or enhances the sense of satisfaction, feeling of satisfaction within your relationship. You have to be satisfied in your marriage, and we've talked about 6 ways that it enhances that sexual intimacy enhances bond or strengthening bonds between couples. Okay, so that is what we have on Sunday. We're going to continue with the live where we're going to go deeper into each of it. If we don't finish this particular topic on Sunday, we will continue the following week. Okay, so that is what I have for us. That's what I have for us today. And I just want to say, just remember this: the power of connection through sexual intercourse cannot be underestimated. We cannot underestimate the power of connection, the power of connection between couples through sexual intercourse. Please, if you have not been indulging on it for one reason or the other, I urge you, I encourage you, and I advise you to find some time, sit with your spouse and talk over it. And talk over it. It's a fundamental aspect of a healthy relationship. It promotes trust, vulnerability, and mutual satisfaction. Whether you like it or not, it promotes satisfaction. I'm telling you. So I am praying that you take this into heart, because by prioritizing sexual intimacy, couples can deepen their emotional bond and cultivate a lasting and fulfilling partnership. Again, I repeat it: by prioritizing sexual intimacy, couples can deepen their emotional connection, cultivate a lasting and fulfilling partnership. So go ahead. If you have not been having it, have a conversation with your partner and you guys see where you stopped, what happened, and how you can fix it moving forward. Again, I want to thank everyone for watching. My name is Soul Angel, and this is the Blissful Couples Corner. Thank you all. I will see you guys on Sunday. Love you all. Bye for now.